Hello and welcome, my dear friends. How are you today? Where are you listening from? Some of you might be just starting your day. Maybe you're on your way to school or getting ready for work. Others might be coming home after a long, busy day. Maybe you're sitting in a cafe, walking through a park, or relaxing in your room with a cup of tea. No matter where you are in the world, I want to say thank you for being here. I truly appreciate that you've chosen to spend this time with me, learning and growing your English. Now, take a moment to breathe. This space is just for you. No stress, no pressure. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to show up. And you're already doing that. You're here. You're listening. You're making progress. You see, learning a new language, especially English, is not always easy. But today, I want you to feel like this is a conversation between friends. Imagine we're sitting across from each other, maybe at a small table by the window. Sunlight streaming in, people walking past on the street. We're just talking, sharing stories, learning naturally. That's how communication begins, not with rules or textbooks, but with people, with real moments, with real voices. So, my friend, how is your day going? Are you heading to work or university? Are you taking care of your family, cooking breakfast, or maybe just winding down for the evening? Some of you might be in countries where it's morning, like in Pakistan, India, or Indonesia, where the streets are waking up and the world is filled with the sound of birds and honking horns. Others might be in places where it's already dark, maybe in Canada, the UK, Nigeria, or parts of the Middle East, and you're just trying to relax after everything life has thrown at you today, wherever you are. I want you to know something important. You're not alone on this journey. All around the world, thousands of people, just like you, are listening, learning, growing. Some are brushing up their English for a job interview. Some want to speak better at school. Some are just curious, passionate, motivated, and that's beautiful. Let's take a quick moment and imagine a few of them. Maybe Maria is listening from Brazil. She's 24, working in a call center, and dreams of working abroad in a customer service role. So she listens to English podcasts while taking the bus. Then there's Ahmed in Egypt, who wants to become a tour guide. He knows tourists come from all over the world, and he wants to welcome them confidently. Or little Mia in Japan, just 12 years old, excited to say her first full English sentence in class tomorrow. And look, there's you. Yes, you. You're on your journey too. And every word you hear, every phrase you understand, every time you say, I can do this, you're building something powerful. That's why this lesson is not just about English. It's about communication. It's about building bridges. Because that's what language does. It connects hearts. It opens minds. It helps people understand each other, and it all begins with listening. But before we talk deeply about listening and communication skills, I want to make sure you're feeling comfortable, calm, and ready. Let's talk about your routine for a moment. Did you have breakfast today? Maybe some eggs and toast, or paratha and chai. Or perhaps you grabbed a quick coffee on your way out. What's the weather like outside your window? Sunny, rainy, cold, or warm? Maybe you're standing in front of your mirror, brushing your hair, or tying your shoes, thinking of all the things you need to do today. That's life. That's the everyday rhythm we all share, even if our languages or cultures are different. We wake up, we eat, we move through the world, and as we do, we meet people, we speak, we listen, we try to express ourselves, and this is where communication skills become one of the most important parts of our lives. You might not realize it yet, but every day you're communicating with your family, your friends, your teachers, your boss, strangers at the grocery store. Sometimes we communicate with words, sometimes with just a look or a gesture. Even silence is communication. Have you ever noticed that? Two people sitting in silence, yet one look, one nod, one smile, it can say so much. That's the magic of being human. We are made to connect, and communication is the tool we use to do that. Now, I know some of you might be shy. You might feel nervous speaking English. Maybe you're afraid of making mistakes or sounding silly. But let me tell you a little secret. Every great communicator once felt that way, even in your native language. You probably made mistakes when you were a child. You didn't always know how to say what you felt. You just tried. You pointed. You made sounds. You used your eyes, your hands, your heart. And slowly, day by day, you got better. That's how it works. So today, I want you to give yourself permission to speak without fear, to listen with full attention, to open your heart to learning. This lesson isn't about tests or grammar rules. It's not about memorizing difficult words. It's about understanding each other. It's about learning how to express your ideas, your feelings, your thoughts, clearly, kindly, confidently. Let's begin by focusing on listening, because that's where everything starts. Asterisk listening is the foundation of every great communicator. Think about it. Before we learn to speak, we learn to listen. A baby listens to thousands of words before saying even one. And even as adults, we understand more than we speak. So, if you want to become fluent in English, if you want to feel confident speaking, start by listening more. Listen every day. Listen to real voices, real conversations, natural speech, just like you're doing now. You see, when you listen often, your brain starts to recognize patterns. You begin to hear how words flow together. You notice tone, rhythm, emotion. You understand not just the words, but the feeling behind the words. This is something that reading alone cannot teach you. Listening gives life to language. Let's say someone says, "Hey, how's it going?" Now, if you read that, it's okay. But when you hear it, the friendly tone, the rising intonation, the smile in their voice, it's a completely different experience. That's the power of listening. So many learners ask, how can I speak fluently? And I always answer, first, listen fluently. Make English a part of your daily life. You can listen while cooking, cleaning, driving, or walking. You can listen in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, or at night when you're lying in bed. Surround yourself with English sounds. Let your ears get used to the music of the language. You don't have to understand every word. In fact, it's okay if you don't. Just keep listening. Let your mind absorb the sounds naturally. Over time, your speaking will improve without even realizing it. Let's talk about routines around the world. Imagine this. In the Philippines, someone is riding a jeepney to school, headphones in, listening to this very lesson. The sun is shining, and there's laughter in the streets. In Germany, someone is sipping coffee in their apartment before heading to work, practicing pronunciation with me. In Kenya, someone is preparing lunch while their children play outside, and this lesson plays in the background. Every listener is different. Every day is different. But one thing unites us: our desire to connect, to communicate better, and to grow. That's why listening is so powerful. It's not just about language. It's about understanding people. It's about developing patience, empathy, and attention, all qualities of a great communicator. So, as you listen to this, I encourage you, don't rush. Let the words sink in. Pause if you need to. Repeat if you like a phrase. Try to shadow. That means speak along with me. Feel the words in your mouth. Listening is learning. Listening is practicing. Listening is the beginning of speaking. And now that we understand how important listening is, let's step into the heart of our journey together. Communication skills. What are they? Why do they matter? Let's begin at the very beginning, childhood. Do you remember when you were a child and you wanted something, maybe a toy, or some food, or attention from your parents? At that time, you probably didn't have the perfect words. You may have used your hands, pointed at what you wanted, or cried, or smiled. Slowly, as you grew, you began using words. Your communication started from simple sounds, like mama, water, play, and then it became full sentences, like, I want to go outside, or I don't like that. That's how communication grows. It begins with emotion and intention, and slowly develops into language and structure. But here's something important. Good communication doesn't come from knowing big words. It comes from knowing how to express your feelings, your thoughts, and your ideas in a way that others understand. That's what makes someone a great communicator. From childhood, some people are more talkative, and others are quieter. Both are okay. Being a good communicator doesn't mean you have to talk a lot. It means you know when to talk, how to talk, and even more importantly, when to listen. In school, communication helps you answer questions in class, make friends, ask for help when you don't understand something. It helps you build relationships with your teachers, classmates, and even your family at home. Imagine a child who doesn't speak up in class because they are afraid of being wrong. That fear can grow. But imagine another child, maybe just as unsure, who raises their hand and says, I don't understand this part. That one sentence can change everything. It opens the door for help, for confidence, for progress. You see, communication is not just about being clever. It's about being brave. As you grow older, your communication becomes more complex. You start using it to express opinions, emotions, disagreement, excitement, love, stress, and dreams. In teenage years, communication can be difficult because emotions are strong. You feel things deeply. You might feel misunderstood. You might want to be heard, but not know how to explain yourself. That's why it's so important to learn communication skills early. Not just how to speak, but how to express yourself clearly and respectfully, even when you're upset or confused. And at the same time, learning to listen to others when they speak. Really listen, not just wait to reply. Let's pause for a moment here. Take a deep breath with me. In and out. Think of someone you really admire, maybe a teacher, a parent, a leader, or even a celebrity. What makes them powerful? Most likely, it's not just what they know, but how they communicate. Some people speak simply, but their words touch your heart. Others may use complicated language, but you don't feel connected to them. Why is that? Because good communication. It's not about using difficult vocabulary. It's about being human. It's about speaking with honesty, with clarity, with purpose. Let's say you're at school and you don't understand a lesson. You have two choices: stay quiet and pretend you understand, or speak up and say, "Excuse me, I didn't quite get that. Could you please explain again?" Which one helps you grow? That's right. Speaking up kindly, clearly, is the skill of a strong communicator. And guess what? That takes practice. You don't wake up one day and magically become a confident speaker. You build it one sentence at a time. Let's take another example. Family at home. Communication is key. When there's a problem in the family, the way we speak or don't speak affects everything. Imagine a teenager slamming the door when they're angry. Instead of saying, "I'm upset right now, I need some time," one creates more conflict. The other opens a chance for understanding. Good communication builds peace. Now let's shift a little to friendships. Friendships depend on trust, and trust is built through honest and open communication. When your friend hurts your feelings, do you tell them kindly, or do you stay quiet and feel distant? When something good happens, do you share your joy? A simple message like "I missed you" or "Thank you for being there for me." That's powerful communication. That's connection. Let me tell you something. Many people around the world are lonely, not because they're alone, but because they don't know how to communicate their feelings. They want to be heard, but they're afraid. They want to speak, but they don't know how to begin, so they stay silent. But not you, because today we are learning not just English, we are learning the art of connection. So ask yourself, how do I communicate with the people in my life? Do I listen carefully? Do I speak honestly? Do I express myself with respect? Communication is not just about talking, it's about understanding. It's about noticing body language, tone of voice, even silence. And remember, even if your English is not perfect, you can still be a great communicator. Let me repeat that. Even if your English is not perfect, you can still be a great communicator, because communication is about clarity, kindness, and confidence, not perfection. Let's continue. Asterisk now. Let's talk about communication in the workplace. Whether you're working in an office, a store, a school, a restaurant, or even from home, one thing is always true. Communication is your most valuable skill. You might be the most talented, the most hardworking person in the room, but if you can't explain your ideas clearly, if you can't ask for help when you need it, or if you struggle to express your thoughts during a meeting, people might not see your true potential. At work, communication happens every single day. Let's imagine a few real situations. You're in a meeting, and your boss says, "Does anyone have suggestions?" You have an idea. It's a good one, but you hesitate. You tell yourself, "What if I sound silly? What if my English isn't perfect?" And then, silence. The moment passes. Someone else speaks. You miss your chance. This happens to so many people, not because they don't have ideas, but because they don't yet trust their voice. But here's the truth. Your voice matters. Even if your English is simple, even if your grammar isn't perfect, even if you speak slowly, what people remember is confidence. They remember clarity. They remember kindness. They remember that you had the courage to speak when it mattered. So, next time you're in a meeting, or on a video call, or writing an email, remember this simple rule: be clear, be polite, be confident. Let's say your English is still improving. That's okay. You can say, "Can I share my idea? Excuse me, may I ask a question? I'm still learning, but I'd like to give my opinion." These phrases are powerful. They show that you are trying, growing, and communicating, and that deserves respect. Now, what about communication in public? Maybe you're ordering food in a restaurant. Maybe you're asking someone for directions. Maybe you're at a hospital, at the bank, or traveling to a new city. In all these places, you need to be able to express yourself calmly and clearly. You don't need perfect English. You just need to be understood. Let's say you walk into a cafe. Instead of worrying about grammar, try saying, "Hello, can I please have a coffee? How much is this? Where is the washroom?" These are small sentences, but they're powerful, because every time you use English in real life, you grow more confident. You train your mind to speak, not just to study. That's how real communication skills are built, not just in classrooms, but in daily life. And then there's online communication. In today's world, we spend so much time on phones and computers. We write messages, we join online classes, we send emails, we talk on video calls, we even meet new people on social media. So, how do we communicate well online? Here are a few tips. Be polite. Use words like please, thank you, and sorry when needed. Be clear. Don't write long, confusing messages. Keep it simple. Be kind. People can't see your face online, so your words must carry your respect. Check your tone. Sometimes messages can sound cold without a smile or kind words. Add phrases like, "I hope you're doing well. No worries. Take care." Online communication is powerful. It can build connections or break them. It can bring people closer or cause misunderstandings. So take your time. Read before you reply. Speak with care. Whether you're writing a message on WhatsApp, joining an English Zoom class, commenting on a YouTube video, or emailing your professor, remember, your words represent you. Make them strong, respectful, and thoughtful. Now, let's talk about something even more personal. We've talked about how we speak to others, but what about how you speak to yourself? Yes, that's also communication, and it's one of the most powerful forms. Let me ask you a question. When you make a mistake, do you say, "I'm so stupid"? Or do you say, "It's okay, I'm learning"? When you try to speak English and forget a word, do you say, "I can't do this"? Or do you say, "I'll try again"? Your inner voice matters more than you think. If your inner voice is always negative, you will lose confidence. But if your inner voice is kind, strong, and encouraging, you will grow faster. Try to talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best friend. Would you laugh at your friend for making a mistake? No, you would say, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. Try again." That's what you need to tell yourself. In fact, the best communicators are not always the most educated. They are the ones who believe in their voice. So from now on, tell yourself, "I am learning. I can improve. I will keep trying. My voice matters," because it does. Your voice matters. Whether you're in school, at work, with friends, or alone, your communication skills start with how you speak to yourself. So be kind, be patient, be proud. You are doing something amazing. Learning a new language, learning to express yourself in a different way. That takes courage. That takes heart. And I am proud of you. Asterisk. Now that we've explored the importance of communication in your personal life, your workplace, and even within yourself, it's time to bring all of that into action. Let's practice how communication works in everyday moments. Remember, Good communication is not just about what you say, it's how you say it. Tone, body language, even when speaking online, and attitude make a big difference. We'll start with common real-life situations. I'll guide you through natural English conversations, and I'll pause in between to explain useful phrases. You can shadow with me. That means repeat after me, match the rhythm, and speak aloud with confidence. Let's begin. Asterisk. Let's now focus on real-life situations where you can apply communication skills in English confidently, naturally, and respectfully. Remember, this is not just about learning new phrases. It's about practicing how to speak with intention, clarity, and confidence wherever you are. So, as I speak, I want you to repeat after me. That's right. This is your shadowing practice. I'll give you natural English phrases you can use every day. Just repeat them out loud. Match my rhythm, match my tone, and let your mouth become comfortable with English. Let's begin. Asterisk. Introducing yourself. Introducing yourself. Imagine you've just entered a new place, maybe a school, a job, a class, or a community. You want to introduce yourself with confidence. Here's how you can do it. Repeat after me. Hi, I'm Daniel. It's really nice to meet you again. Hi, I'm Daniel. It's really nice to meet you. Keep your voice friendly. Smile as you speak. Your energy is part of your communication. Now continue. I'm new here, just starting today. Let's say you want to ask someone a polite question. Can I ask you something? Repeat. Can I ask you something? That simple phrase opens the door to connection. You don't need long speeches, just short, clear sentences with a calm voice. Asterisk. Ordering at a cafe or restaurant. Now, let's imagine you're at a coffee shop or a small restaurant. You want to order something. You don't need to panic. You already know what to say. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Hi, can I please get a cup of coffee? Now try this one. Can I have a chicken sandwich, please? And don't forget to be polite. That's all. Thank you. Repeat again. That's all. Thank you. And when the person hands you your order, say, thank you very much. Simple, kind, and clear. That's effective communication in action. Asterisk. Speaking up at work or in class now. Let's shift to the workplace or classroom, places where people often hesitate to speak up. Let's change that. Practice this. Excuse me, may I share an idea? Say it confidently. Excuse me, may I share an idea? Now try this. I think we could try something different. Again, I think we could try something different. Or, here's a suggestion I'd like to make. You see, these are short, respectful sentences that show your confidence and invite others to listen. If you don't understand something, don't stay silent. Try this instead. I didn't understand. Could you explain that again, please? Now you say it. I didn't understand. Could you explain that again, please? That one sentence can change everything. Asterisk. Handling difficult conversations sometimes. Communication means talking through uncomfortable situations, like a misunderstanding, a disagreement, or hurt feelings. The key here is to stay calm, honest, and respectful. Practice this. Can we talk for a minute? I feel there's been some confusion. Now you try. Can we talk for a minute? I feel there's been some confusion. Or, if I said something wrong, I'd like to understand and make it right. Say that one. If I said something wrong, I'd like to understand and make it right. This is mature communication, not silence, not shouting, just clarity and care. Asterisk, sending a professional message or email in today's world. So much communication happens online through texts, messages, or emails. Let's practice writing or saying a short and polite message. Repeat after me. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Again, hi, I hope you're doing well. Next, I'm writing to ask about the meeting schedule. Now repeat. I'm writing to ask about the meeting schedule. And to close your message, say, thank you for your time. Looking forward to your reply. Professional, polite, and respectful, just like a strong communicator. Asterisk, daily communication phrases you can use anywhere now. I'll share a few short phrases that can be used in almost any conversation. Repeat them after me, slowly, clearly, and with confidence. How was your day? What do you think about this? I agree with that. I'm not sure. Can we talk more about it? Thanks for explaining that. Let's work on this together. No problem. Take your time. Have a great day. These may seem simple, but they are powerful when used with kindness and clarity. Asterisk, shadowing recap. Build your let S. Now do a short practice round. I'll say a sentence. You repeat it. Ready? I'm learning English every day, and I'm getting better. Again, I'm learning English every day, and I'm getting better. Now this. I speak clearly. I speak kindly. I speak with confidence. Again, I speak clearly. I speak kindly. I speak with confidence. And one more. My voice matters. My words have power. Let's say it together. One last time. My voice matters. My words have power. Yes, they do. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep practicing. Every sentence you speak, every time you listen, every moment you try, you're building your skill. You're not just learning English. You're learning how to connect, how to express yourself, how to be understood and respected in any situation. You are becoming a strong communicator, and I'm proud of you. Asterisk. Take a moment and breathe with me. You've come a long way, not just in this lesson, but in your entire journey as an English learner, a communicator, and a human being trying to grow every day. Right now, I want you to pause and feel proud of yourself. You could have spent your time doing anything else, but you chose this. You chose to listen, to learn, to open your heart to improvement. You chose growth. And that says something powerful about you. Let's reflect for a moment. Think about everything you've practiced here. You've learned how to introduce yourself with confidence, how to order food politely, how to speak up at work or in class, how to handle difficult conversations with calm and respect, how to communicate online, and most importantly, how to speak kindly to yourself. That's a lot, and you did it. But I want you to remember this. Communication isn't just a skill. It's a way of life. It's how we build trust. It's how we grow relationships. It's how we solve problems. It's how we inspire, lead, love, and heal. Words, when used with care, have the power to change lives. And your words, even simple ones, can make a difference in someone's day, in someone's heart, in someone's future. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been comforted by someone saying, "I'm here for you"? Have you ever felt lighter when someone said, "You're doing great"? Have you ever felt brave because someone said, "I believe in you"? Those are just a few words, but they carry the weight of human connection. That is the power you now hold, the power of communication. You don't have to be the loudest in the room. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need to speak fast or sound like a native speaker. All you need is presence, a calm voice, a willing heart, and the courage to speak, even when your voice shakes. Remember, the world is full of noise, but not everyone is truly heard. What people need most is someone who listens, someone who understands, someone who communicates with honesty and empathy. So let that person be you. Let your communication show your intelligence, yes, but also your kindness. Let it show your strength, but also your softness. Let it show your curiosity, your respect, your story. Because no one else can tell your story the way you can. You are not just learning English. You are learning how to use your voice. You are learning how to connect with people across oceans, cultures, and beliefs. You are learning how to lead, how to inspire, how to be present in this world, not silently, but powerfully. Let me say this clearly. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to speak like someone else to be heard. You don't have to be fluent to be understood. You only need to be you, honest, thoughtful, and willing to grow. So wherever you go after this lesson, whether you're going to work, school, back to your home, or simply sitting with yourself, carry this confidence with you. Repeat this with me. I am a communicator. I am learning every day. I speak with clarity. I listen with care. I express myself with confidence and kindness. Yes, my friend, you are growing, and I'm proud of you. Before we end, here's a small promise I want you to make to yourself from today. I will no longer stay silent because of fear. I will speak even when I make mistakes. I will improve, not by rushing, but by staying consistent. And I will believe in the power of my voice. Because when you believe in your voice, others will believe in it too. So go on. Share your ideas. Ask your questions. Tell your stories. Start new conversations. And above all, keep practicing. Because practice turns hesitation into confidence. Practice turns fear into flow. Practice turns silence into strength. What it takes. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep growing, and remember, your voice matters. The world is waiting to hear it. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I'm proud of you. I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and keep communicating with heart.